Welcome to episode 82 of The Place of Sound. I'm your host, Natalie Hall. The Place of Sound is a show that explores the theme of space, or the social geography, using sound and listening. This is done through a variety of audio media production formats, so you can expect to do a few different types of listening in a single show. Episodes consist of what we refer to as audio portraits, or oral history-style interviews that explore topics of home. Soundscape compositions, which use everyday sounds to communicate the personal and social significance of a given place. And we typically end the episode with a short documentary-style piece that explores the place-based identity of the producer. The aim with these projects is to allow the producer to think about the places that made them who they are today. These are the types of projects you can expect to hear on The Place of Sound, and all of them are produced by students here at Carleton University. They're what gets produced in Comms 4501, Digital Media Production, which is Vincent Androsani's fourth-year workshop course in the Communication and Media Studies program. Welcome back, everyone, to The Place of Sound. I'm so happy to be back with you and to bring you something different than what we've been doing in the past couple episodes. So the last 4 episodes, we did a retrospective looking back on all the work that came out of The Place of Sound in 2024. And if you want to listen to those episodes, you can go to wherever you find your podcasts or our website, theplaceofsound.ca. But we finally have new student work to show you, which I'm just so excited for. The projects that we've seen come out of last semester are just so incredible, so that's what you'll be hearing for the many weeks to come. In case you forgot how it works, each student will jump in to offer a quick introduction to their piece before we listen to it, to give a sense of whose voice you'll be hearing and what the piece is really about. Without further ado, we'll start off with Dillon MacNeil, who takes us along a day at his work creating a soundscape out of the many repeated noises he hears for 8 hours a day. Here is Cacophony of Machines.
Hi, my name is Dillon MacNeil, and I'm a 4th year Communications and Media Studies student here at Carleton. I decided to do my soundscape at my job, a local paint store here in Ottawa. You'll hear a sampling of some of the cacophony of sounds that go on a day-to-day basis and what I have to deal with day in and day out when I go to a shift. It is a very diverse environment with lots of people, but a repetitive sampling of sounds.
Come in. Start the sale system, the shaker, the tinter. The phone rings, but you need to keep working on these orders. Scan, tint, hammer, shake. We all work. Some of us have excitement in the day, with new job sites, different customers, and various scenes. But we all do the same tasks over and over again. Scan, tint, hammer, shake. And can someone please grab that phone? A day at work throws me out of the woes of my outside life. Here, the assignments that are due, the readings that need to be finished, and all the other pressures of school get put to the back burner. There's no time to worry about what I need to make for dinner, no need to stress over a fight with family. all of this needs to stop, as these orders have to get out. Work puts all my problems aside and delves me into a world of color choices, product recommendations, and of course, tinting orders. I spend my day in front of the tinter, only moving to shake the customer's paint, after moving right back to my spot in front of this engineered color producer. Balancing the needs of one customer to the next, moving around and around as I assist them in what their day-to-day will be for the next week, as they repaint rooms or work on the newest building in the city. I'm familiar with this place, seeing more of it than my own family, even after working here for 3 short years. And after everyone has left, I am granted a moment of time. What I choose to do with it is just that, my choice, but it only lasts for a second, as that damned phone rings again.
Thank you, Dillon. The sounds of work and labor are something I've always been really interested in, and I think it's a topic that a lot of sound artists are interested in, and you put it together so beautifully. And it really illustrates how you can take just a few snippets of sound, and through your production, you have created something very sonically rich and with a narrative. Now we'll hear from Rayna Siddique. She interviewed Rai, an international student from Ethiopia. They explore how concepts of home and identity change as you leave your family and the place you grew up in. Here is Identity Crisis.
Hello, my name is Rayna Siddique, and I'm currently in my final year of studies at Carleton University in the Communication and Media Studies program. For the audio portrait assignment in my digital media production class, I've interviewed Rai Tesfaye Antena, who is an international student from Ethiopia. Through this piece, you will discover Rai's journey growing up moving country to country, how he's adjusted to living in Canada for school, and how he keeps his culture with him while being in Ottawa.
My name is Rayna Tesfaye, and I'm from Ethiopia. Moving from country to country, I always had my family, and then for the first time ever, I moved without them. So I came here January, so halfway through the year. It was winter, it was COVID, so it was just it was tough because I couldn't get to meet a lot of people. It was cold outside, so no one was outside. And then on top of that, I had just left my family, something I've always known growing up. So it was hard. But then my friends that I went to high school with also came by after a month or two. So then that made it easier, but it was definitely hard because they were the only stable thing growing up, I would say, So what was meant to happen is, we moved in together, but the plan was to move in just me and my friends. They're twins. But then their family ended up coming to Canada as well. So they just, we ended up looking for a house for all of us. Things I would have had to do by myself or I have help with now, I'm just not alone. So it's helped a lot. I feel like traveling so much throughout my life, it has created some type of identity crisis. So every time I do go back home to Ethiopia, I don't feel like I'm 100% Ethiopian because I don't fully connect with everyone there. The things they did, saw, grew up in, I couldn't really relate. But then I go somewhere else and then it's the same thing, It's somewhere completely new and I don't really connect with the people there, the people that grew up there. So I feel like now my sense of home is literally wherever my family is. Before, I used to only want to I was just looking for that one country I can like just settle down in, and then finally, make friends that I can continue seeing and not end up moving away and then losing contact with them. But yeah, I've always dreamed of staying in one country. But then now that I've been here in Ottawa for like 5 years now, but just I feel like the way I've grown up, like deep down in my body, I'm looking for change.
Thank you so much to Rayna and Rai. I love that the conversation finishes off with the desire for change. I think change is something that can fuel an identity crisis, but at the same time, once you allow space for it and accept it into your life, it can make you really assured in yourself. Lastly, we have Nour Ghalab, who will bring us to the Lansdowne Christmas market through the lens of the area's new controversial development. Here is Through the Lights, the Lansdowne Christmas market.
Hi, my name is Nour. I'm a fourth-year Communication and Media Studies student at Carleton University. For my project, I'm taking you on a journey through the Lansdowne Christmas market, a festive holiday destination with a deeper story to tell. You'll hear sounds of the market, an interview with a student, and my own reflections as I explore the social and political dynamics shaping this space. From questions of commercialization to gentrification, this is more than just a holiday market. It's a glimpse into how spaces define community and belonging. I hope you enjoy listening. The air is festive, and everywhere you turn, there's a warm glow of fairy lights. The Lansdowne Christmas market is alive with the sounds of the holidays, laughter, live music, and the hum of excited conversations. But as magical as this place feels, I can't help but wonder, what is the story of this place? Who's it for, and how has it changed over time? This market, first held in 2019, is a relatively new addition to Ottawa's holiday season. It's also a product of Lansdowne's redevelopment, a transformation that sparked debates about gentrification, commercialization, and accessibility. Today, I'm here to explore not just the sights and sounds of the market, but also the social and political dynamics shaping it. Lansdowne has a long and complex history. Once a public space for community events, it has evolved into a hub of high-end residential condos, boutique stores, and curated experiences like this market. The polished atmosphere, complete with an Audi dealership and upscale dining options, can feel exclusionary to those who don't fit into its target demographic. In terms of accessibility, getting to the market isn't difficult. There's a bus that drops you off right at Lansdowne. It's once you're actually there that it feels less about whether you can physically get there and more about whether you can fit into this kind of space. This raises a question. How do people who live outside this reality, students, families on tight budgets, experience Lansdowne? I interviewed a student called Jasper who also attended the market to understand her perspective on it and its place within Lansdowne's changing landscape.
I didn't really buy too much at the market. I just ended up getting a hot chocolate and maple taffy, but even that I found to be a little bit overpriced. I think that a lot of students have the same take as me, as I think most of these items are curated for more wealthier populations.
As I walk through the market, I notice the stalls lined with artisanal products, handcrafted ornaments, locally made jams, and gourmet chocolates. It's all beautiful, but it's also expensive. The commercialization of Christmas is nothing new, but at Lansdowne it feels amplified. I wonder how students, many of whom are living on a tight budget, interact with a space like this. Is it possible to enjoy the market without spending a lot of money, or does the focus on high-end goods exclude people from fully participating? When I spoke to Jasper, I wanted to know, what drew her to the market? Does she feel pressure to buy something, or can she simply enjoy the experience?
I don't think you can really enjoy the market without spending money. I think you can kind of just walk around and enjoy the music and lights, but I think there's a limit to how much you can do without spending. I feel like it's one of those spaces where everything kind of seems tied to buying something, so it's kind of hard not to feel out of place if you're just browsing. When going up to the vendors, I almost felt some kind of pressure to buy something. I found that there were a lot of vendors that sold handcrafted items that really stood out to me because you could tell that they were made with like a lot of care. At the same time, though, I found those to be the priciest things at the market because they're probably most authentic, but also the least accessible for most people.
This market isn't just about holiday cheer. Gentrification, commercialization, and accessibility intersect here in a way that's impossible to ignore. Even as I enjoy the festive lights and music, I'm reminded that this space reflects a broader reality. For me, attending the market feels like stepping into two worlds at once. At one hand, I'm drawn to the joy of the season. On the other hand, I can't help but think critically about who gets to enjoy this space and what it represents. These two perspectives, personal and social, are inseparable. Vendors also face pressures. The price of setting up their shop reflects the upscale nature of Lansdowne. These increased costs may push out smaller vendors in favor of more commercialized vendors, further highlighting the market's commercialized atmosphere. The Aberdeen Pavilion, with its rich history dating back to 1898, stands as a testament to Ottawa's past. Once serving as a venue for agricultural fairs, now a heritage building, it overlooks the Lansdowne Christmas Market, connecting the past to the present and reminding visitors of the deep historical roots that shape this area. Today, that history is part of a new reality, as Lansdowne has been redeveloped into a commercial and residential district. The market we see today, this polished, curated space, is the result of a long transformation. It's no longer just a community hub, it's a place where high-end goods and experiences are tailored to a specific crowd. The Lansdowne Christmas Market will carry on after I leave tonight, as it has for the past few years. It's become a tradition, a symbol of Ottawa's holiday season, but also of Lansdowne's transformation. As I walk away, the questions linger. How do spaces like this define who belongs? How do we reconcile the joy of these events with their exclusivity? And what does this market tell us about the evolving identity of Lansdowne itself? These are questions without easy answers, but they're worth asking as we move through spaces like this one.
Thank you so much, Nour. Of course, this show always appreciates a piece that makes us question the spaces we're in and how people gather in them and the exterior motives that may not be seen to the naked eye. We're almost at the end of the program, but I wanted to kind of give a shout out to Noah Perkins, who we had on episode 76 of The Place of Sound. On that episode, he teased his album, and he recently played the whole project in a live performance that I attended, and it was super beautiful. I don't think it's available to stream yet, but you should definitely check him out. He's on our Instagram, so you can follow him from there. And if you want to listen to that episode, you can on our website or wherever you get your podcasts. But here's a little excerpt so you can have a taste of that.
So I took that and I was like, how can I use life elements, things that we can't really control, to create sounds, like to be more spontaneous rather than being like programmed and like automated. So I made this park that has like, I'd say 3 or 4 main elements. There's wind chimes everywhere that are like, they have pulley systems and they're attached by strings so that birds can fly onto them as well as humans can pull on them, and it makes sound for the wind chimes. So it's like taking all these external factors to make sound. It's not like you have to, but it's just there to kind of let the public do its thing or let non-humans do their thing. as they would, because I feel like the park shouldn't just be shared by humans. It also features these steel rain pans, like they're like the pans that have like the notes, and you use like kind of like these softer drum like sticks. I forget the name, but like steel pans, I think. Yeah. Those are like featured around the site. They're much bigger. They're like almost seating size. So those kind of stick around the site as seating, but they're also steel pans. So when it rains, rain hits them and it makes like these beautiful sounds that kind of soundtrack the rain. Every season will kind of show itself through sound in this site. And I think like when people go to a park, they're not really attracted to a park if it's raining, but that could give a reason to go out in the park when it's raining. Maybe it's not so common, but it gives that context through all the different wide ranges of like seasons. And even in the winter, like there's this big structure in the middle. It's like this wooden structure that's like, it's almost like an amphitheater that kind of reflects sound so people can come play music there. But it's also like, because it's skeletal through its wood structure, it also invites people to like put like tarps over top. It can be used as like temporary shelter. So like leaving it interpretive so people can use it as like things that they want to use it for. So it's not literal. So I think that's a big driver in like all my work, is trying to make things more interpretive. Community can build the space more than people with companies with a lot of money could, you know what I mean? So it's, and it doesn't have, it could be low fidelity. I don't know. I feel like that's more of a beautiful statement than something that's just rigid. Yeah. So that's kind of like, those are the main aspects of the project. I'm just trying to think if I'm missing anything, but I think that's it. Oh, the structure has like a second floor that you can't get to because it's only dedicated to raccoons. That's my final point for that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What are the raccoons gonna do in there?
Just chill. Like, I mean, I feel like if there's like elevated spaces, if an animal can feel safer up there, I feel like that's cool. It can also be used as storage, I guess, but again, like the interpretive nature of it, just let nature do its thing. I have a project I've been working on for the whole year, like since March. It's for my 16:9 ratio album or project. I don't have a date yet because I still have to go under like getting it mastered and stuff like that, but it's like 90% done. The name of it, I haven't told anybody yet, but the name of it is called Our Keyboards. Yeah, hopefully it's going to come out in like end of the year. I've been wanting to put it out for a while. Like I've been thinking about how I wanted to like portray my kind of sound as that project. But it's about 32 minutes, 30 minutes. It's going to be great. I don't want to spoil too much, but it's going to be cool. I'd say like the main themes are like capturing memory through field recordings. Like the synth work is less quantized. It's more like free-formed. And then that paired with I've done sampling for like the wind chimes at my parents' house and stuff like that. So it's just like kind of keying in those like things from my life and how they relate to like how I see music and how it can kind of blend with that. So it's a really personal album. So I'm really excited for people to hear it. There's cool names on it, but I won't say it yet.
Once again, thank you to Dillon, Rayna, and Nour for being the first student work to be displayed in 2025. And before I sign off, a couple of quick notes. A reminder that what we've listened to here on this show is only a fraction of the work produced in association with this project. If you're interested in checking out more, have a look at theplaceofsound.ca, where you're not only able to hear this audio work, but also see some of the original photos and writing that students produced to go along with the audio. There's also a featured work section on the site's blog where you can access some notable individual projects. And in the classes section, you can have a look at the portfolio website designed by students themselves, which host every project produced in this course. And lastly, under the Listen link, you're able to access the show's archive and listen back to any episode of the show you'd like to hear. But in the meantime, keep your ear out for upcoming episodes of the show, which air on CKCU Radio every other Monday at 6:30 p.m. and are available wherever you get your podcasts. We'll see you next time. Thank you for tuning into The Place of Sound, and happy listening.